before I knew about, eating healthy.
Yeah. Okay, so wow, thank you so much for everything, for what you do. And somebody noted, I recently that you're so good to give so many interviews to us. We're not like superstars. We're not we're just regular folks who have YouTube channels. So it's really it's just beautiful. It's just the whole community that I see growing, the star seeds coming together. I think it's just such a love thing. It's such a, it's so against, it really is so, you can so easily see it as a, contradiction to the cabal way of doing things. And it's just, we're easing into like another lifestyle. So that the kind of things that I really wanted to focus on in this meeting, and again, no pressure, and I just want you to feel relaxed and happy, and me too, is really, like, I'm really more interested in like kind of like the day-to-day work that we can do, moving forward as communicators. I'm building my little community. I'm up to like 20,000 subscribers now, which is, to me, it's amazing. I mean, I pinch myself sometimes. I mean, I know I could be a lot bigger, but it's very, it's very nice. And we meet twice a day, so we have a lot of contact. But I want to just like kind of get an idea of like how you see us building the new world. Like I'm also like a retired builder. So, I'm thinking of like, you mentioned something about building spiritual communities, and, and I think of like Tartaria, I think of like building, structures that fit in with the environment, that, were gardens and fountains and places for children. And, is that the kind of, I mean, honestly, like right now at this moment, I'm looking for like a place to live. And it's like, it goes so against, it's just so difficult. And I'm wondering like how you see this in the future, how we're going to live in the future, in the near future.
We're still going to have houses. Our houses are going to be different, though. They're going to be as physical as these houses are, but they're going to be our ideal home. So, if you could imagine what your ideal home is, that's the type of home we're going to be living in. Everyone's going to be able to live in their ideal home. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be just a better world. There's going to be no more corruption, no more lies, no more, halves and halves-nots, no more injustices. In a way, there's, people are going to learn how to govern themselves. People are going to understand what true self-sovereignty is because of the type of world, that we're going to be in, where there is no more evil. So if there's no more evil, then obviously there will be no more policeman or military. Everything's going to, all the arms are going to be dismantled. And that's how advanced civilizations exist. They don't really need police. Every citizen in those worlds is a government unto themselves. It's what self-sovereignty is. The best government is self-government. But in a type of egalitarian system where everyone is adherent students of the Christ consciousness, of unity consciousness, of brotherhood and sisterhood, of being of service to others. So when you have everybody in that state of mind, there is no need for physical social structures like we have them here. It's just a better world.
How do we make that transition? I mean, in other words, how do we eliminate evil, really? How do people come to see that it doesn't pay? How do we get people on board?
Well, everything is a reflection of ourselves. So in order to defeat the evil in the external world, we have to first defeat the evil within us, which is pretty much the ego. Once we've succumbed and tamed the ego, then we defeated evil in terms of like within ourselves, because ego is the evil aspect of every single one of us. We all go through that ego, battle with the ego. The ego is always trying to make us compete with others, and that's just part of this old world. So if we want to live in a better world, we have to first learn how to master, ourselves. once we master ourselves, then we live in a like-mind world with others that have also mastered themselves. And that's what a fifth dimensional society is. It's a world where every citizen in that reality has learned how to master themselves and has tamed the ego. Because at that point, there is no more injustices. Everyone's living under one universal understanding of oneness, seeing sacredness in all living things.
So in terms of, I understand, so in terms of our own personal development, we want to tame the ego. I mean, this is very much in line with the prophecies from Judaism of the era of Mashiach. I mean, that's to me the exciting thing is when different thought streams connect. And, I'm seeing this whole process. I mean, unbeknownst to the Jewish community, for some reason, they're not really noticing it. But Mashiach, the idea of Messiah, I mean, you could call it Christ consciousness. We call it Messiah, Mashiach. It's the same thing. But so let's say in terms of community evolution, as we evolve and claim our own sovereignty, how does that spread? Is there a separation, or is there, is it that the people who can't do it are just going to be taken away, or is it that we're all going to spread the love and somehow it'll, everyone will get it?
I believe that yes, it's going to start with us, and then once enough of us are in that mentality, that's going to allow everyone else to be in that mentality automatically. But for the people that are evil, they're going to be eliminated when the solar flash takes place. So only the wicked are going to be taken out this time. The unwicked, which is the majority of the world, they're going to have an opportunity to go into the next stage by virtue of the 100 monkeys effect, which is what we call the Maharishi effect. Right? Once you have enough people thinking the same things, then it allows everybody else within that group of species to think the same. So we're raising the frequency by merely just doing what we came here to do, and so we are affecting the collective every day in our lives with what we do, how we think, and how we treat others.
So at some point there'll be this is very much in line with the Jewish thought and Zion, the idea of Zion, that evil will be completely eradicated. There won't be any evil. And in fact, our sages say that we'll look fondly back at the time where there was evil, because we had more what to do. We had a mission. But when we get to the other side, it'll be so peaceful that we won't be fighting evil anymore. So you're saying that basically we're going to reach a point where it'll kind of spread. It'll just be a spreading forth of this kind of energy.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what they call critical mass. And we're almost there. Many people are waking up, accelerating like never before right now.
And okay, so let me go back to the house thing. How will that physically take place? How will we transform our houses, let's say, into more sophisticated dwelling places that really support our new lifestyles, let's say?
Well, if you're in the fourth dimension, you're gonna use a replicator, and all you gotta do is like a 3D printer, put exactly in detail how you want your house, and that replicator is gonna manifest that house for you. If you're in the fifth dimensional reality, then you will be the replicator. Your body is a natural technology where you're gonna be creating at the speed of light with your thoughts. And that's how you're going to manifest anything you want in the physical realm.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So if you want a particular house, then all you got to do is think it, and and use your imagination to see what you want that house to look like inside and out. The type of atmosphere you want in that house, whether if you want it to be full of plant life, full of nature, then that's the type of home that you're going to manifest by virtue of that. Because in fifth dimensional reality, our thoughts manifest at the speed of light, and that's why it's important to learn how to control your thoughts while we're still here in the third, fourth dimension. Because once we enter the fifth dimension, people are going to be co-creating at the speed of light. And it's very important to master that now before we start creating things we don't want.
Right. So what I'm thinking is like I want to start taking more notes so I can that it could be like, because I'm thinking like, I want a house that radiates with nature, and it has like a musical component and light component, and it's a healing unit, and it's a has energy of love. And in the current state of like 3D awareness, everything is kind of like separate. Like you would have your music system, you would have your. So I guess what I'm thinking, maybe I'm thinking for you, but that we're going to reach a kind of a unity consciousness where we're not going to have all these like separate boxes, so that the creational process won't be like, okay, I need, air conditioning. I mean, is that all like a cabal kind of influence, that everything is like separate? Is that what they've done to our consciousness?
Yes, we're moving from the state of separation to seeing everything as interconnected, at least all living things. So we're moving from a duality to a type of unity perception as we move into the fifth dimension.
So in terms of like, I'm a builder, so I'm just a little stuck on this. So in terms of, let's say I'm building a house, I won't have to think separately about like, well, gee, what kind of windows do I want? What kind of heating and air conditioning do I want? It's kind of like I'll just have a general like feeling for the kind of environment, the kind of thought space that I'll be creating, and it'll kind of accumulate into that unity consciousness. Is that correct? I mean, is that?
Yes, absolutely. That's how it works.
And so too with building communities. It's kind of like we're going to be taking out the separation between people. We're going to be taking out the separation between technologies. I mean, the more I like think about these things, the more I realize, like, I mean, they say the cabal did everything to make us think separately. Like they made us wait at stop signs. They made us fill out forms. They made it, they made everything like a separate and difficult procedure. We like ownership. Like, what about owning land? Will that be a thing of the past?
No, because in the new world, everything will be owned by everyone equally. All the resources are going to be, no one's going to own anything privately or centralized. Everything's going to be an egalitarian type of system where everything is not owned by anyone.
So what if I say I want to imagine my new house on top of this mountain, and somebody else also is doing it at the same time? So in that realm, we could both somehow become together as one. There wouldn't be a separation. How do you envision that?
Yes, if you guys have similar thoughts and you guys are co-creating something together, then that's what you guys are going to manifest, if you guys are thinking the same thing. But everyone's going to have the opportunity to manifest whatever they desire in the fifth dimension of Earth. It's almost like we're all going to be sharing the world collectively, but yet we're also going to be existing in our own worlds. Yeah.
So we'll be together. We'll be unified, but it will be a kind of a unity that's separate. Like we'll still have our own sense of self, but would it be proper to say that we won't mind being around others because we'll realize that they are really just reflections of ourselves?
Yes. In the new world, we see the Christ in everyone. We no longer see people as separate from us. We see them as expressions of the one.
So really we're talking about unity consciousness, which is somewhat difficult for us to imagine in terms of the 3D world, but it seems that like our preparation, like our work on the internet, is helping us make that transition. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely, yes. Everything that we're all doing in spreading information and helping the collective and raising the consciousness of the planet is all leading towards this grand shift of ages that's going to lead to the age of Messiah, the Aquarian age, millennium, the golden age. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Okay, so I'm just trying to think build. So I had separate questions. Um, what about let's see how to make transitions. So we're making the transition. Communication will be now. How do we make the transition from like separation to telepathy? Let's say.
Well, once we begin to use more of our genetic material, our telepathic channels are gonna once again be reconnected, and that has a lot to do with the activation of our pineal gland, and our pituitary gland. Those glands within our brain allow us to use more than 10% of our full brain power, and when we do that, we begin to communicate with each other via telepathy. Yeah.
How cool. And okay, so the solar flash, how much of the solar flash is going to, you have mosquitoes, you have
Yeah, it's a few little flies. It's okay. That's what happens when you're at a park.
so the solar flash is also predicted by Judaism. They say that the sun will get what's called a bris. In other words, the sun will be circumcised. It will, like the outer layer will be removed, which is kind of sounds like a solar flash. My question is, how much of the transition is dependent on our efforts, and how much is dependent on this kind of solar flash? That, like, we talk in Hasidus about the concept of from below to above and above to below. That some things God just gives to us, and some things, are better manifested by ourselves. It will be like kind of, how do you see that?
It's 50-50. The sun and us were communicating at a energetic level. So as we do the work, as we do the clearing, as we raise our frequencies, the sun emits more light. And so when enough of us are done that, when enough of us have done the clearing, then that's when the sun will receive the signal that it is time for the transformation. But it's waiting for most of us to do the work. Yes.
Oh, that's so interesting. Okay, so and the work is really just to work on our ego, would you say?
Work on our ego, overcoming our lower self, our animal nature, our emotions, our thoughts. This is the final initiation. We all have to just learn how to be masters. So, and we're heading there. We're all evolving, and we're becoming more enlightened.
Yeah, it seems like it's moving at a pretty fast pace. I mean, the news to me is absolutely staggering. Every day I see things that are just amazing. Like I'm seeing the whole economy turn over. The nations that are operating outside of the cabal influence are all coming together. I mean, it's really happening on so many levels. It's very exciting.
Yeah, it is.
So my people all want to know, dates. When is this going to happen? Yeah, the solar flash. I mean, I'm sure you get this question all the time. I personally am not. I don't feel that concerned, because I feel like I have more work to do. I feel like everything is happening in God's time. But can you give my friends from my Kabbalah Guru family like some kind of idea of the time frame of all this?
Well, depending on, how can I say it? According to the ancient calendars, the ones that are actually aligned with the natural cycles of the universe, that are able to see where we're at in the grand scheme of things as our solar system, moves around the galactic core. The time frame is anytime between now and 2020. I would have to say 2028 latest, but earliest 2024. Yeah.
For the flash, I mean, it would be 2024.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the original vision I got when I wrote Cosmic Origin. So I'm going to stick to that original vision.
Okay, so here's another set of questions. How do we develop our ability to vision things the way you do? I mean, I know you say meditation, but the question also is, at what point will we make contact with our star brothers and sisters? So when does that seem like it's going to happen?
Well, from behind the scenes, our brothers and sisters from the advanced worlds, known as the Federation, they're already working with the Earth Alliance to prepare the Earth for first contact. Because within the private sector, we've already made first contact. Obviously, we have these breakaway groups have existing since the 1950s and 60s, and so they're now just, I guess, they've been waiting for the right time for the collective of humanity on the surface level to reach a certain level of consciousness, to be ready to, I guess, to understand, extraterrestrial civilizations. And they believe that we are already there. So part of the disclosure, part of the Nasera Kasera new financial system is going to lead to first contact, because a lot of that stuff was actually developed by extraterrestrials. The quantum financial system, and so on and so forth. These are all structures that exist throughout the many worlds within our galaxy and other galaxies. So it's already in progress. First contact is imminent.
Imminent. So
It's inevitable.
Is inevitable, right? Well, I'm sorry about the noise. It's Brooklyn, but what does that look like? Do the upper dimensional beings, do they have the ability to just kind of appear physically, or they're going to come through our thoughts? How does first contact manifest?
It's because we are going to be going into the fourth and fifth dimensional reality. The veil is going to be lifted, and then that's when everyone is going to see ships, mass sightings everywhere around the world.
And so those ships will be seen before the solar flash.
I think it's going to happen right when the solar flash takes place. The motherships are going to be all visible for everyone to see. And also we're going to start seeing Pleiadians, Arcturians, Lyrians, and different star races that are already here walking among us. Because once the veil is lifted and the Earth is fully anchored in the fourth and fifth dimensional reality, we're going to be interacting with extraterrestrials. Because they're already all around us. We just don't see them because they're in a different dimension. So when we enter their dimension, which is already here, it's all going to be visible to us.
So how do I embed? Let's say I want to have contact with our brothers and sisters from the stars. How could one initiate a contact just personally? Just say, okay, man, let's hang. I know you're here. Show me yourself so we can we can have a cup of coffee together, whatever. How do we do that? Or is that's not proper etiquette? I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that physical, it's going to have to wait till the veil is fully lifted in this dimension. So, in order for us to have coffee with them or a conversation like me and you are, we have to be in the same dimensional frequency reality. Otherwise, it's like tapping into the wrong radio station. So they're waiting for us, to collectively be fully anchored in the fifth dimension.
So it would have to be a collective awakening to get to that point.
Exactly. Yes.
Cool. Okay, so I can't just say, come on for coffee. I have to wait till we all wake up, which is probably makes sense.
Well, there's some people that have the abilities to already, have coffee and interact with extraterrestrials and aboard these motherships or these other ships. But that's just something that, they're born with, So some people have that ability already and some people don't.
Right. Okay. So it's something to look forward to. In the future, we'll all have that ability.
Yeah. In the future, we're all going to be walking and talking to many dimensional beings in the near future.
Nice. Yeah, it says it says in scriptures that the sun will be unsheathed and the evil ones will hide in the clefts of rocks and the righteous people will be healed. Is that kind of like a metaphor for what's going on now?
Absolutely, yes. When the shift takes place, there's going to be massive miracles for the righteous. The righteous are going to be exalted and uplifted, and the wicked are going to be exterminated and eliminated.
Does any of that? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, these prophecies are echoed in every ancient tradition, not just in the Judeo-Christian tradition, but even in the Hindu texts of the Mahabharata and the Vedas, the Quran. They all talk about this. The ancient Zoroastrian manuscripts. They all talk about the solar flash, the shift of ages, and the exaltation of the righteous and the elimination of evil. But it's known under different names.
How much? Okay, so how much of our religious text has been influenced by the Cabal? Has been perverted by the Cabal? I mean, are
I would
all
have to say most.
yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, most of it, because even before the actual editing of the Bible, which happened in 1700 years ago during the Council of Nicaea, we still had the Sadducees and the Pharisees that were also modifying and editing the original text that come from Elijah and Ezekiel and the prophets of old. So I would have to say that it's been edited a lot, over and over and over.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, and the Pharisees and the Sadducees were like what the Cabal was in those days, 2,000 years ago.
It's interesting because I know they like to mess with language. It seems that the Cabal has a big. They like to play with words and confuse us with language. Do you think? I mean, I don't know. This is kind of a loaded question, but do you think like the Babylonian? I've heard that the Babylonian Talmud was infiltrated to some degree by the Cabal. Does that resonate?
The Babylonian Talmud.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's true.
Because they tend to play with language and nuance, and they like to control us with with language. Really, I mean, is that their like? Does the enemy have like obviously? I mean, they have high tech. They're like the reptilians and those people. Are they? They've always had a much more advanced technology than we have.
Well, then based on our current level of technology, which is a Type 0, yes. But comparing them to technologies of a Type 1 or a Type 2, it's about equal. And for the most part, the reptilians, or particularly the Draco, they've mostly been using AI and nanotechnology more than anything. So they're very invested in artificial intelligence.
So that's the main. You said before that's like the main conflict. Gog and Magog versus humans.
Yeah. So even the Draco themselves are puppets and minions of the AI.
Okay. So that's so what can we look forward to in the near term before the solar flash? What kind of miracles or what kind of transformations should we be ready for? What should we be looking for? What kind of signs can we see?
The collapse of Western society as we know it. The fall of the current political, social, and economic structure. So that's going to be the first thing that's going to happen. And that's going to lead to first contact.
Right. And you're saying that will probably be at the same time as the solar flash.
I think at the same time, yeah. Because the solar flash is the demarcation between the age of Pisces and the age of Aquarius. It's what causes the age of Pisces to no longer be here, and then it allows the age of Aquarius to come into being.
But that's going to be fully manifested by 2004 probably.
2024, according to my original vision and based on my research, yes. But technically no later than 2027, 2028.
But in the meantime, we're going to see first. I mean, it looks to me like the collapse of the civilization is somewhat imminent. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's going to be. Doesn't seem like it's years away. It seems like it's weeks or months away. Once the information about the other side is revealed, it will, trigger a mass awakening. Let's hope.
Yeah, I believe so. That's going to be the first catalyst of the mass awakening is when the people of the Earth become informed on the extraterrestrial connection and on what's been really going on for thousands of years behind their back, and that's going to be a huge awakening that's going to be taking place.
Right. So
for the masses.
For the masses, right? The star seeds already know what's coming.
Yes, the star seeds are the ones that are bringing the awakening. They're helping in the disclosure. through the distribution of information and stuff through the internet. They're spreading information, and that's what's allowing many people to awaken and deprogram from the matrix.
They're saying that once people wake up, they're going to be really freaked out. Are you seeing that as well? Like the normies?
Yeah, the normies are, yeah. Because it's like everything that they've ever been taught is actually going to be proven wrong. So it's going to, it's going to shatter their cognitive dissonance, It's going to be major cognitive dissonance. So we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah. And we should look forward to. I mean, I'm telling my community, or we're telling each other that we should be there for the others. We have to be there for the normies, even though they gave us a hard time. They're going to need our help soon. Yeah,
they are.
They'll need
us.
Will.
We will be like way showers and teachers to them when this happens.
Well,
the normies are going to be apologizing and saying,
they'll be apologizing.
Sorry for calling you conspiracy theories. Sorry for calling you crazy, but you were right this whole time.
But this is going to be after the initial shock. Like it's going to be, the first shock is going to just send them over, send them a bit over the edge. They're saying that millions of people will be protesting, and they'll be really upset for a short time. They said a short time, which I think is hopeful. You see that as well?
Perhaps. Yeah, people are going to be in shock, so I can understand why there's going to be some protesting. But, I guess we're going to all find out and see how it all unfolds.
Yeah.
The good news is that, the old Babylonian system that has been ruling this world for thousands of years is crashing, and it's no longer in power. So, it's also going to be a time to celebrate our liberation, our victory over darkness, over corruption, over injustice. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. So it's party time. It's go time. I mean, we're really, even though we may not experience full 5D consciousness where we're imagining our own houses and moving in, we'll be busy with really beautiful, I'm going back to I've been talking about the phrase "be fruitful and multiply." That in this place, in this era, we should continue to be fruitful and multiply, not just making kids, but that we should start getting used to being like creators.
Yeah, because that's what we're going to be doing in the fifth dimension. We're going to be creating. We're all going to be creating at will. And as we move beyond the fifth dimension, we're just going to be using more genetic material and more power. So, one of these days, eventually, we're all going to be creators of our own universe. We're going to be, instead of manifesting homes, we're going to be manifesting cosmos.
The sense of time, like the timeline, like how do you quantify how long it's going to take us to go from liberation of the planet to becoming galaxies? Is that eons, or will time be different in the new world? I guess that's my question.
Well, yeah, because we're going to go beyond time. There will be no more time, and in the galaxy, everything's happening all simultaneously. The liberation of the Earth and the overthrow of the Cabal is also the overthrow of the Orion Empire in our galaxy. So as I speak right now, our galaxy is going under. There's galactic trials that are taking place, but it's also happening in other galaxies. The galactic courts are already arresting many of the reptilians and the insectoids and the Greys that have been, part of the Luciferian rebellion, and they're all going to be facing trial. And so it's not just happening here; it's happening everywhere in the cosmos as I speak.
When you say we won't have time, what does that look like? How could you explain that to us?
Well, we're going to be immortal. We're going to be living forever. So we're not going to be aging anymore. We're not going to be seeing things like from one point to the next. We're just going to be living in the eternal now. Nice.
So we won't really have to worry about anything. We'll just be basically creating, and eventually and we won't have a sense of like, man, it took me so long to go from creating houses to creating universes. That'll all be kind of like a simultaneous creation, a simultaneous explosion of creativity. Yeah.
Well, as we use more percentage and as we go higher in dimension, as we continue to progress in our spiritual evolution through our consciousness, we're going to learn how to terraform Earth. We're going to learn how to create stars, galaxies, and universes. That's where we're all heading. So we're going to be eventually the new creator gods of universes in the new cycle of things. We're going to be replacing the old ones because in a way it's like we're all interconnected. In order for the creators of our universe or the creator gods of universes to evolve to the next level, we have to evolve to their level, and that's just how it's always been. So we came to this earth to prepare, to train, to become like gods and goddesses.
So they can't move up to the next level until we take their place.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Well, I think I've really, I think I feel like I've gotten answers to a lot of my questions. I know whenever I see you, I feel like there's more. Are there any general messages that you want to just give without, just message to the world and to, it's evolving so fast. I mean, I'm seeing things moving, countries dissolving. I mean, the leadership just dissolving before your eyes. I mean, things that, not just countries, but, the whole financial system is just, it seems like me, it's just, it's just like a house of cards and it's just going to be. So is there any just a message that you want to just broadcast in the last couple of minutes?
Just to stay centered, because change is coming. It's inevitable. The plan to liberate the earth is going to be shocking to most, but for those that are awakened, it's going to be a sense of relief. And so have nothing to worry about. Don't entertain any negative thoughts, any negative timelines, because in every timeline, the forces of light checkmated the darkness. So God is in control. There's no need to worry at this time. Just this is a time to celebrate. So if you could already, imagine what a heaven on earth would be like and feel what a heaven on earth would be like, then this is a time to just stay in that emotion and stay in that thought, and don't let anything distract you from that.
Right. Just keep moving forward. Just keep doing what we're doing, and radiate love, radiate light. Keep
Exactly.
keep a creative mind, and just know that even though it looks like things are kind of in a dark place, it's really just the darkness before the dawn.
Absolutely. The storm before the calm, or the calm before the storm.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm good to go. So yeah, unless you have anything else to say, let's just till next time. I mean, I really, really appreciate you spending time with me, and I want to thank you also for all the other, we're just like little guys, all the you're known for giving interviews to lots and lots of people, and it's just such a beautiful thing. I can't thank you enough for helping us get through this transition.
Well, thank you, Kabbalah Guru, for also doing what you're doing with your, spreading of love and truth. We're all doing this together. We're a team. So as much as I am a teacher, I'm also a student. We're all learning together.
Thanks, Ismael. I really appreciate it. Should have only blessings and light and love. And till next time, my brother, be well.
Likewise. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Chẳng thể quên khi cơn mưa đêm lại về. Em đã quên lời thề và ta như đông chìm sâu. Không cần mơ em anh nhận màu. Em chỉ cần mơ đâu em bay. Chỉ còn là những cơn mưa vô giá cho bên mơ em không mơ anh. Anh một đêm mơ chỉ cho bên em không được còn nhớ và chỉ có em không còn nhớ và người ta bên nhau như ngã tớ. Muốn nhớ về say em chỉ có mấy em ở đây và anh như muốn chết đi nhưng không muốn em mơ mày. Tình yêu làm cho ta đau đầu không em như nằm mơ màu. Anh như đêm mong cầu và mưa bên em u sầu. Chắc có mà mai em mơ chỉ có bên em nhưng là có mơ. Mà đang dài em muốn bên ai anh không mong gì hơn chỉ mong em sẽ ở đây ôm anh thật gần. Anh chỉ mong đôi ta được có nhau mà đừng em đâu anh có em muốn em bên anh có em. Ta sẽ trao nhau môi hôn thật sâu ôm anh.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a